Alright. We are talking about, what are you talking about now? Let's do loops. Loops are insanely important and can get out of control and can be the downfall of your map, but it could also make it the best map you've ever made. Alright, why do I say that? Because loops loop. They loop forever until you tell them to stop or something happens for them to stop or the map ends or the game crashes. So you don't want to have too many loops going on. You don't want to lose control of loops because, like I said, they can be very dangerous. Through experience, I've done some crazy things and had some crazy things happen because of loops. So I kind of talked about loops a little bit in previous ones, but I kind of want to do a tutorial on loops because I think it's really important. And why do you say that? I'm just making sure everything's running right here. I'm kind of multitasking a bunch of stuff right now. All right, so typical Playbill, we're going to do, it's just going to be a spawn squad type one, right? Spawn squad. I'm going to just spawn. What do I want to spawn? I'll just spawn troops. Why not? Bazooka team. Alright, so spawn squad bazookas. Bazooka. Alright, so we're spawning bazookas. That's all we're doing. Really kind of simple. Right, I want to make sure that sometimes my box, I just like to see that green box. I don't know why. Alright, so I'm going to spawn them. I'm going to spawn them right here. Right? Right, so Playbill's going to start. It's going to spawn bazookas. Right? Really kind of simple stuff. I'm going to do a condition on this, and there's a tutorial on conditions, so I suggest you look at that. I'm going to do a unit at location. Right, and here's my unit at location. Right, I'm going to make it 10 radius. So unit at location. Let's just say unit location here. Reinforcements are going to come. Right, and you can do this. Change the destination, start position. For this, I'll do it in any map I do. I never use this because the time it goes from start to destination, it has some reason weird effects to my unit moves and squad pass and everything else. It's almost like it overrides it. So I get unintended situations. So I always have my start and my destination the exact same spot, and then I use a different playbill for moving it, random weighted actions, everything else. But for this example, we're not talking too much detail about that. We're talking about loops, right? So spawn bazooka. So what's going to happen here is that when player one, stop team, when player one has more or greater than or equal to 1, I cover conditions in a tutorial, so I suggest you look at that one if you're kind of screaming right now going, hey, slow down, what are you talking about? So basically what's happening is unit in this location here, it's going to it's going to spawn bazooka team starting here. It's going to come to the circle, like reinforcements, right? Really kind of easy. I'll even put, which I cover in the messages tutorial, I'll put a little message here. There's a good one I use. This game title, text fade, really simple. Just puts a couple words at the bottom. That's it. And I use it a lot for troubleshooting. So if I'm doing something, some actions based off conditions, and I have a bunch of stuff going on, and I don't know if it fired or not because I don't know if the condition actually worked, I'll put this text in here saying, you know, spawn squad works, or, you know, whatever message. Hey, hi, you know, hello world. Something on the screen, just so I know that the condition actually worked and it shot the action, even if it didn't follow through with everything I wanted to do. So for troubleshooting purposes, I'll have a bunch of test game title text fades, which is a little message to the bomb, just to kind of say, hey, you know, this is what's going on. All right, so what's going to happen is we're going to walk into this location. It's going to put on the screen the bottom reinforcements, and your bazooka guys are going to show up. Pretty simple, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a wait command after that of 30 seconds. And then I'm going to loop. Now loops can be tricky in a sense. I always use loops as a default because I split up, like I said before, my spawns are in a different play bill than my move, than in my attack, than everything else. I separate my playbills. That way I can have better control of them, and I can launch them and use them as I see fit, as opposed to just looping everything and going crazy. So I just use the standard loop, and that's just how it is. You can change the stage, what stage in the playbill to loop to, right? The default is 1, so it's going to go to the first thing, which should be this. So if you want just to go to the second action or the third, it can do that. However, that being said, the reason I don't use that, I leave it at default, is because I found that it doesn't always do it what it's supposed to. I don't know if that's a mistake I made, or if that's just how it is. But so I just leave it default. So it's just going to start at the top and go down, start everything, right? All the conditions and actions. So here we go. It's going to start. Nothing's going to happen because there's no unit in this circle, because I think the unit engineers or whatever start over here. So nothing should happen until I walk into this. I'll put a little marker just so I know where to walk to. Grab a texture, grab anything. I really like this one. It's a nice texture. All right. We'll just draw it in here. Again, this is just so, because you don't see the circle in game, so you just draw a little tile on there so I know where to go, right? So when these guys start, I walk over here and it should just do it, right? And then it's going to wait 30 seconds and it's going to repeat. If I'm in that circle, it's going to spawn. If I'm staying in the circle still, it's just going to give me reinforcements. So the objective here is that every time I walk in the circle, I get reinforcements. Is it practical? No. But for showing you what a loop can do, it's really important. And after this, I'm going to show you what the dangers are with loops. Make sure I have this thing set to... make sure I have everything set properly. Make sure I have it for testing purposes set for immediate. Again, unit at location, right? I should preach my own, do what I preach, right? Unit at location. So I know what that is. Unit at location, player 1 opted for team, use the team. If team 1 is in there, and you can set it obviously for certain units only, blah, 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 blah. Action's going to put the word reinforcements. It's going to spawn a bazookas, wait 30 seconds and loop, right? So let's see it actually do this. One feature I really, really wish Relic would put in their games, and Age of Empires had the same issue, is the ability to leave the game on and build a map, so you don't have to keep launching Company of Heroes 3 every time. Age of Empires was the same way. It's like you have to close the game, reopen it. It'd be cool if it just stayed open. Or you could launch it from in the editor. That would be amazing, like many games do. So I can just hit, test, and it just, new window shows up in-game, like a new tab. That would be amazing, amazing wish list for Company of Heroes 4. Hint, hint. If it ever comes out the next couple years, hopefully. All right, let's check this out. Let's make sure it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. I just did the random action last. Woo! Remember what I called this one? Random loop? Test loop? test loops. Here's my little thing I made. So let's see if it works. Loading. Alright, so nothing should happen in the beginning.
Roger that. We won't reinforce without your word.
Isn't that such a great texture? It's like one of my favorite ones. I just think it looks so cool. I use it a lot. So nothing's happening.
Let's get to it, fellas. Scouts,
I'm gonna move my troops in here.
Let's go.
Okay, doing
No
some
lagging
funky
behind.
walking there for a second. Got too much stuff going on. And they're in the
We've got
circle.
orders to
There's my
advance.
text reinforcements. There's my reinforcements.
boys.
Right?
Heading to
We're
new
off to
coordinates.
battle.
What we want is over yonder.
Doing what they do, right?
Clearing a path.
Da, da, da,
We'll find a
da.
way.
Attacking,
Well, look what the shake a
running,
leg, fellas.
all that kind of stuff. Nothing else is happening here.
Look sharp, fellas.
No,
We're
if I
up.
go
Moving
back
out, fellas.
in here. What did I put the weight at? 30 seconds? I think I put it at 30 seconds.
Moving to
Go
new
back in here.
destination.
It should spawn me more units. Oh, look at that. Reinforcements again. And they just keep coming. They will ignore the pop cap, so they will
Scouts,
spawn
loaded
over
and
the
ready.
pop cap.
No route too
So you have to be
challenging.
aware of that when using loops.
Come on, get the let out.
But basically, I made myself a permanent reinforcement area, so to speak. So you could have multiple units. I have units in here, so it should automatically... I never knew the bazooka troops had a thing. I thought that was only snipers that had that.
Orders coming
That's
down
good
the
to know.
chain.
Because I have a
Listen
unit
up.
in here, team unit in here,
Back
it's
those
going to keep
weapons.
spawning them.
Orders coming in. Line up the men and let's
Right.
get to it. Gunny
So
says we gotta
that's
move.
an example of a loop working as intended, for whatever reason. Okay. So let's talk about how loops can get out of control. So I could have a loop action here, basically unit and location. I'll use the same one. Unit at location. I could have another playbill, right? That says PB. I always love the DAC dive bomb. All right. So this Playbill, I don't even know what to name it because it's doing too much stuff more than I like to do. So this Playbill is just going to be using ability, which is another tutorial I covered, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Usability, ability is going to be the DAC. Battle group. I know it's here. I use it all the time. I should have memorized where it is by now. There it is. Do target. I don't know what I called the Rangers. What did I call the Rangers? Did I just call them bazookas? I didn't call them anything. I'm calling them Baz. So when it spawns the bazookas, their S group name is going to be Baz. So the dive bomb is going to dive bomb Baz, right? Ignore. Skip cost. Caster is going to be player 2. So that's the enemy. And again, there's a whole tutorial on these usability and stuff. So basically what's going to happen is usability, dive bomb, Baz. My little internal note, right? Now, if I just put a loop on this, it's not a very nice thing to do. It's going to keep dive bombing. Probably going to crash, actually, but it'll dive bomb first, and then it's going to crash when it can't find the S group. So let's just kind of see what happens here. So I got my unit allocation. I got my usability, dive bomb. I'm going to even make it even more complicated because this is a common thing people do. Is I'm going to launch launch Playbill. Standard issues with loops. You're going to see. Right. Now, of course, if I left it here, it's not going to do anything because I have a loop above it. So remember, Playbills always start at the top, just like everything else in the editor. Start at the top and go down. So it's going to go here, 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 and it's going to loop back up. It's not going to touch this. So we're going to put it right there. So it's going to launch this Playbill, which has its own loop. Okay. So you're going to see some, it's probably going to crash, actually, but, you know, we'll see. I want to make sure that I have enough spawn bazooka guys spawn. So number of squads, I'll put 3. All right. So 3 squads of bazooka teams are going to show up here. All right. So this is a really messy, bad idea, but we're going to do it anyways, just because I want to show you how kind of out of control stuff can get with loops and why they're very dangerous if you don't watch yourself. Because what's also going to happen is if you have multiple conditions going with the loop, it's going to keep doing it over and over and over again. So when you think it's spawning 1 unit, it's going to spawn 2 because it's running it more than once. It's really hard to explain until you experience it, but it becomes really problematic, and it really throws off the balance and the whole level. So you really got to just pay attention to your loops. That's why you always write display. You always put in the display name loop, just so you know where the loops are. And why I put that little text message at the bottom. It's kind of like the tester. Okay, let's see how ugly this works. If it even works, it might crash right off the bat because it might not be able to find the ranger units, but we'll see after it destroys them. Alright, so again, nothing happens until I walk into this unit at location.
Let's get this
Walk
over
into
with.
unit location, which would trigger reinforcements, which will trigger a loop, which will trigger the dive bombs.
Well, look what the
There's my
cat
3
coughed up.
teams.
You got
Reason
it,
I made
buddy.
3 is
Keep
because
those
dive
bazookas
bombs
on
are
the wings.
coming.
Time's over. Let's move out.
It's going to be an
Scouts,
issue.
loaded and ready.
So let's see if the dive bombs even
Back
come.
those bazooka teams. Pick up the pace.
No
I
route
think
too
it's 30
challenging.
seconds I put. I don't remember. But
Get ready to jump off. Come on, get the let
just
out.
leave this guy here so he can keep bringing
Scouts,
in
lead the way.
more and more units.
Airstrike!
Enemy aircraft!
Airstrike coming. So
Fighters
it's just gonna
coming
keep
in!
plastering this.
Enemy aircraft! Fighters coming in!
But so loops you have to be very, very careful of. How I would fix this if I had the situation and I wanted it to do all this stuff, right, is I would put another condition here. Well, first off, I wouldn't do this, but if I ran into this problem, the one thing you can always do is stop a playbill and it will stop the loop. Okay, so if I go here, let's see, so loop, I'm going to actually do another condition, which is just going to be another playbill. It's kind of hard to think about how I'm going to do this because this is not how I do maps at all, but I'm trying to show you guys how to stop a loop. Stop loop. Alright, let's see, stop a loop. First thing I'm going to do is wait because the action won't be taking place right away. I'm going to wait 60 seconds. And then I'm just going to stop playbills. So there's another one here called stop. Stop playbill. There it is. Stop prefab playbill. Stop that playbill. So I put stop PB stop loop. So that's this playbill is this one PB to stop loop, which is, oh no, that's my own playbill. I don't want to do that. Is PB die bomb. Right. So it's going to wait 60 seconds, going to stop this playbill, and then I'm going to drag and drop. I'm going to stop the other one too, which I didn't name. Bad practice. So it's going to stop this playbill. It's going to stop this playbill. Both of these, right? Stop. First playbill. Right. So all playbills should stop. Oops. All playbills should stop when it hits after 60 seconds. It should stop everything. Okay. And that's what you do in Horde maps and stuff like that, because you don't want things to continually go on forever. You want to be able to control the action. So at the end of a wave, or if an objective is met, the last action would be stop. You want to stop that playbill. Totally stop it. Just stop it. So that's what this will do. It'll basically stop anything that happens after 60 seconds. But we can always test it. I didn't start it. Alright. Let's just kind of see what happens if we have more fun dive bombing action and if it stops. But again, just loops are super important, super helpful. I use them all the time, but the number one mistake you're going to make when using playbills is typos. Always happens. You type something wrong. The second mistake, it's going to be related to loops. Something's going to loop more than it should have, and you're going to be like, why is this happening over and over again? So you just need to watch your loops. But it makes it for interesting times, especially when you use the random weighted actions. Lots of hordes of units. All right. So let's see what happens this time. So remember, after 60 seconds, it's supposed to stop playbills.
Need some recon, sir?
Roger that. We won't reinforce without your word.
We're all ears, sir. Scouts,
There's my
lead the way.
units.
Well, bazooka
Not
team,
there, 'cause I don't
pick
wanna
up the
keep
pace. Let's
spawning
get it
units.
done,
Gunny
boys.
says we gotta move.
Bazooka team, pick up the pace.
So we're at the 20-second mark now.
Bazooka
Dive
team.
bomb should be coming in. I think it was 30 seconds. And you're only going to attack these. They'll never attack this because I told it
That's
to
us,
only
boys.
attack the
Get your gear ready.
BAZ. I think it was what I named these. So dive bombs will only attack these guys. Won't attack these guys.
Enemy
Look at
fighter!
that
He's
Here
cacti.
comes
right
the
on
air
top
strike.
of us!
So picking these. Here comes the endless loops of planes.
Enemy
60
fire!
seconds. So it doesn't constantly come in and make life miserable. Anywho, that's loops. Hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching.